G'day YouTube. Last Friday, Australia realised one of our much loved characters at Sky News Australia was nowhere to be seen. What happened to Jonesy? What happened to Ellen Jones and the other members at Sky News Australia? Did they all piss up the night before? Or all hungover, stuck at home, sleeping it off? No. Australians were getting restless, and even my neighbour, Crikey, was getting edgy. So I went to investigate, and here is what I discovered. On Sunday, Sky News Australia's YouTube account was suspended for a week. YouTube reported that the account was spreading COVID-19 misinformation. It was trending on Twitter. It was hotting up. Some accusing YouTube's actions as an assault on freedom of thought. YouTube issued a strike under its 3-strike policies. On strike 3, your account can be permanently deleted. YouTube did not point to a specific item, but it opposed material that could cause real harm. In a YouTube statement, it said, Sky News had clear and established COVID-19 medical misinformation, policies based on local and global health authority guidance. A spokesperson said, the video did not provide sufficient countervailing context. Sky News said it found an old video that did not comply with the terms and policies and took its commitment to meeting editorial and community expectations seriously. Sky denied its host had ever denied the existence of COVID-19, but this is what I believe happened. The suspension came after a journalist threw a comment at the Health Minister, Brad Hazzard. Take a listen to this.
There's been a number of commentators, one in particular who's called into question the need for a lockdown, called into question the expertise of the Chief Health Officer. What do you say to people like Ellen Jones who've made those comments publicly and keep repeating them?
Look, there are a lot of people who don't base their decisions in science or evidence, and all I'll say is we're in a 1 in 100 year pandemic. The community more broadly need to understand the decisions are taken as best as possible on the basis of evidence and science to keep us safe. More broadly, I'd say to those, we had a question from the lady, the journalist here before, about some people not wanting to take vaccines. Well, my message to them is you're being extremely selfish. If you think you can not have a vaccine just because you don't want to have a vaccine, well, you should think about what you're doing to your family and to the community. And I would say even more than that, what a hide you have, what a ridiculous position is that when you're going to put health staff at risk, and when you get sick, you're going to expect to come into hospital and get paid for by taxpayers. You know what? It's time for those who actually think that way to wake up, including commentators who actually don't base their commentary in any logic whatsoever. So.
Take a listen to this.
Of some of the nonsense that's being trotted out to us because they obviously think that workers, business, families and teenage children are all stupid. Well, the one thing they have, all of them, is a very good memory. Remember Gladys Berejiklian in May? Quote, I fear for Victoria and I worry about what their government may do. We have demonstrated to other states that it's possible to manage an outbreak. Then a week ago, listen to this.
No matter where you live in Greater Metropolitan Sydney, you should have a mask with you. Even if you're just exercising with your household, you might change your mind to pick up a coffee or pick up something or be in an outdoor market. You have to wear a mask in those settings.
What was that about picking up a coffee? There was the Premier within 24 hours after that fatuous utterance about wearing a mask, picking up a coffee. She was picking one up without a mask after telling everyone to stay at home. And in a week of alarmism, this from Tuesday, July 20.
Thousands and thousands of people were moving around the community.
I see. We locked down because thousands and thousands of people were moving around. Thousands and thousands of people were moving around, just as the Premier was moving around when she went for a coffee at the weekend. But the daily doses of alarmism kept coming.
All of us have to be on our guard no matter where we live.
On our guard, eh? I suppose because in the 24 hours to 8 p.m. last night, we've got to be on our guard, 85,185 people were tested. I wonder, can they tell us the cost of all of this? I'm telling you, it's hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars at $200 a test. But 85,185 to 8 p.m. last night, and 124 is the alarmist figure out of 85,185 tests. Are these people kidding us? 0.145%. But the Premier proudly boasted earlier this week.
Nearly 6,000 businesses had their applications processed for support.
Yes, Gladys, thousands of businesses just trying to make a quid to pay tax so you can get your fat salary while they're on their knees. Many will never come back because 0.145% of 85,000 tested positive, or 99.85% tested negative.
The silencing of Sky News Australia, to me, is clearly the retaliation of the New South Wales government about Alan Jones's comments on the handling of the COVID infections, restrictions put in place. I am sure many Australians would agree with Alan Jones. Alan Jones is clearly not denying there is a pandemic. He is merely looking at the aggressive lockdown tactics and restrictions and decisions made by the New South Wales government under health advice. You can take a look at the cases around the world in the countries that never locked down, and you can compare their cases versus deaths. It's a fair argument. And Jones went on to pull up the Premier for breaching her own COVID rules. The actions of the Premier, socialising without a mask, police on horseback without a mask. Why weren't they fined for not wearing a mask? Are the police and health ministers immune to their own breaches? Why weren't they fined? Or under federal law, could they be fined? Probably not.